Hi, everyone. My name is Jenny Dravasi, and I live in Washington, D.C. I love to travel, cook, play softball, bike, and try new restaurants. I'm currently backpacking with my husband in Europe, and I'm sitting in a cafe in Vienna, Austria. I chose this course for several reasons, with the most influential one being the area that I grew up in. I grew up in a very rural town in central Kentucky, and the public school system was very poor, as well as most of the students who attended. Looking back, not realizing at the time, of course, I now know that school lunch and breakfast were the only meals that children got to eat. If it wasn't the only meal kids got to eat, it was most likely the only one that they had the potential of healthy offerings. Instead, we received something similar to the meal pictured here. The more I've learned through the program about the importance of nutrition during adolescence, the more interested I am in learning how I can have an impact at this level. Also, after creating a social communication plan for freshman college students in our health communication class, I am increasingly interested in the experience of college students and how we can help establish healthy habits for students as they venture out on their own. My expectations for this class are that I might learn the differences and similarities in what students at different ages might need and how this is reflected in the current school meals they're receiving. I also hope to learn more about how policy affects what is served in school lunches. Living in Washington, D.C., and growing up being particularly interested in politics, I'm curious as to how the two are interrelated and how that changes at a local and federal level. Perhaps we won't get entirely into this, but I do think the socio ecological framework will be important to understanding the current problems as well as possible interventions. From the course goals, it seems that we'll be focused on a school based strategy and how they can be implemented to maximize learning and health of children throughout their higher education all the way from adolescence. I hope that we will have a chance to talk about the best way to use food as a reward for children and how to best encourage children to be physically active that don't necessarily want to be. I think living in Washington, D.C. gives me a really unique experience to work for a number of education or nutrition in school nonprofits, a public school system that impacts a large number of students, or work in the government in a way that directly affects nutrition in schools. With that being said, I'm not entirely sure that I want to go into school in nutrition, to be honest. However, I do hope to use what I learn in this class to be an active member of my community and the school experience for my children and those that attend school with them. I hope that I will be a better, more engaged, thoughtful parent because of what I learn about nutrition in these different settings. I think all of the classes that I've taken thus far will be important in expanding and pushing my thinking about how I can apply my knowledge to the school setting. I haven't taken life cycle nutrition or nutrition education methods 1 or 2, which are listed as prerequisites, but I have taken strategies in weight management, which addresses the obesity epidemic in children, vitamins and minerals, which discusses the importance of obtaining the appropriate amount of each vitamin and mineral at different life stages, changes in health behavior, where we learned how to most effectively create sustainable interventions, and in health communication, we learned strategies for communicating the importance of health to different audiences. Building off these courses, I look forward to taking this information to the next level and becoming more specific with my skills and ideas.